So yes, as you heard, I am coming from different background, right? So I'm coming from business. I'm an investor. So I hope that my experience, which I will be passing to you, is very well complementary with your academia background, right? So I don't have presentation for the moment. I will have presentation tomorrow for you. You can ask a lot of questions. So there are two challenges related to the tokenization, because I will be the owner of the challenge of tokenization. So the first challenge is about tokenization of the real estates. So my cases will be really business oriented, right? So there are real use cases. So the objective of the first use case is unlocking or allowing ownership of the real estates through tokenization and fractionalization. So the problem we have today, right, that access to the properties, which are more and more expensive, is started to be limited to the small amount of the investors, right? So the challenge here is to increase the base of investors through fractionalization. So if somebody has $100, $200, allowing him access to the market, invest in the properties, invest in the fine art, invest in the luxury products, and somehow getting the passive incomes coming from this investment. So that's the problem. And the idea here with the challenges is to attract the small investors, to prepare a kind of a platform which is easy for them to enter the market, right? So there are three main requirements, implementation requirements. The first one is user interface. So I've heard about here other challenges that user interface was not so important. For me, it's the most important part of the platform, right? Because if you want to attract somebody, it needs to be clear message passed, and it needs to be designed for somebody who not only has no knowledge of the crypto or knowledge of the blockchain, but also maybe he never invested in real estate in the past because he was thinking, okay, it's not for me. So we need to do something which is attractive for those type of the investors, okay? The second part is the smart contract, if we go. So I know it's 3 days, right? So to prepare the smart contract is very, tough task, during this period. So just give kind of design and idea of the smart contract. So there are two things for me important with smart contract. The first one is flexibility. You know, if we talk about business is evolving. With time, we change, environment is changing, we need to adapt to changes. So smart contracts needs to be also more flexible, so we can easily adapt with smart contract to requirements which are changing with environment around, right? So that's the important thing. Also, the smart contract needs to automatically distribute the profits coming from the investments of the users. So coming from the, let's say, rentals or from selling of the properties. So this smart contract needs to ensure this. We need to have some governance model as well. So it's one of the requirements. So propose it. So how to manage all the decisions, because we have many small stakeholders, right? So how to organize taking decision about selling property, about renting property, about taking the loan maybe to buy other properties, right? So this governance model also, you can prepare, like proposals, right? The third thing is this platform needs to be compliant with law. That's compliant with law, regulations, because we are, in reality, we are depending on this compliance, right? So if we are not compliant with platform, we cannot go to the investors. So AML, KYC, accreditation of investors, if any, so you need to think about legal aspect as well. So there are three main challenges here, or three main requirements. The second case is exactly the same. The second challenge is exactly the same from the structure perspective, but related to different investment class, which is fine arts, if you want, right? So what I heard is it's not clear if you will have two groups or one group, right?
We'll see.
So we will
we'll
see.
Everything right after lunch.
Okay, okay, good. So anyways, the second one, there are similar requirements. So there's a platform marketplace which allows ownership of the fine arts through fractionalizations and tokenization. The same requirements, so user interface, focus on user interface is very important. Then smart contracts, which exactly the same, fulfill the same requirements. So distributing of the earnings coming from the, I don't know, exhibitions of our art or from the selling. And the third one, legal compliance. But here we need to be careful because it's different asset class. So we need to be careful about avoiding the frauds. So it's authentication of the art, of the object, and provenance. So that is original. No, it's not copy or. So that's kind of in nutshell challenges you will have. It's very simple, but you need to be careful with one thing, because you're coming from the academia, right? So be careful, don't do the project which is built for owners of the project or for developers, by developers for developers, because it's this, I realize working with different organizations that very often here the focus is user. Users is in the center. That's very important. So user, this layer, the user interface, is really crucial here. Simple, but you need to make money with this platform. So that's your kind of idea, yeah? Not just to do another platform which is somewhere left over.
Okay.
Good.
Many thanks.
Welcome.
Questions and networking, as I said.
Yeah.